Go ahead and stay over here, Marilyn. I'm sorry. Oh, shoot. Let me go up. Yeah, there you go, Marilyn. Okay. I didn't use the restroom. Oh my God. Okay. Hi, well, no one's here. At least no one saw that. I did not know I was alive. Okay, let me turn on the light. Hold on. Here, I need this. I'll be right back. Gonna give it a few minutes to see if anybody shows up. But tonight we're gonna be discussing Jessica Kent and the recent drama within the recovery community, and just the dangers of oversharing online. So yeah, we'll get started in a few minutes. How's everybody doing? Hey, Melissa. Hey, girls. How you girls doing? I totally got on here and did not know I was live and was like trying to fix pictures. It was so embarrassing, but at least no one was here. Um, but yeah, that was my. Oh, can you guys hear me? I have a feeling that my microphone is not where it should be. Buster, my dog has my microphone. I'm sorry, guys. Is this better? Yeah, hot goss. Got all that hot goss. Okay, so I kind of just wanted to I feel like everybody here. Oh, by the way, one thing before I start. My earrings. They're so cute, dude. My mom made these and she made these little earrings. Let me see if I can get them to show those. Is that the right way? Yeah, those. And then she makes these little things. She was like, "Oh, that's nothing," but I was like, "Oh my God, it's so cute." It's like a little seahorse, and you can clip it to your keys. And then she also makes posters. And this was like, I love this. This is a bookmark. And you see, like you stick your little page right there, and then it keeps your place. I love it. But I just wanted to show you guys that. If anybody wants anything, just let me know. I was telling her earlier, I was like, "Mom, you guys should selling that stuff. Like, you're really good at it." And I have one more thing. This is actually the cutest thing out of all of it. Check that out. It's a little mirror compact. Like, how cute is that? I love it. Yeah, I totally get you, Melissa. Like, it's I get it. I'm sorry, Mercy. You have had a hard couple days. But yeah, the whole Jessica Kent thing. I am at a point with it. Like, I feel like everybody here kind of knows what's going on, and I can catch anybody up if there's anything new. But like, I kind of want to get opinions because the way I feel about it is, I feel like we have reached a point in the Jessica Kent saga where the girl isn't going to take accountability. Like that is very, very, very clear to me. I mean, it's as clear as Sarah Jean taking accountability. It's just never going to happen. And oh God, eggs. Check this out, Melissa or Marissa. Check that if you can read it. I love it. But yeah, I feel like with the Jessica Kent situation specifically, I just feel like she's not going to take accountability. So what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, at this point, what are we doing? What is the goal? Do we want accountability? Do we want her canceled? Like, what do we want? Because her views have been severely affected. Like, if you watch or if you look at any of the views on any video that doesn't contain Reese or drama, it doesn't have any views. It has like 20K as opposed to like a Reese video that gets 200K. So, like, I can tell like 100% why she's doing the Reese content and like the drama content because it is pulling money. Exactly. Yeah. I with that too, with the Radiant Brent situation, I actually liked her coverage on Jess, but to be totally honest, I felt like she was going too far. It was like she was not streaming, but like talking about her every single day. And at some point you have to give somebody whether it's grace, compassion, or just I can tell you're not going to take accountability and I'm wasting my time. Like at some point you have to kind of back off. And I get Nicole, like Nicole's accountability. I get where she's coming from. That girl has a valid reason to be mad and angry and never like her. And Mindy as well. But the other creators, it's kind of like, what is it going to take for everybody to stop? Because I did watch her recent TikTok. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I can pull it up if you want to watch it. But actually I don't know if I can because I'm in YouTube. But she basically said, I want to be an open book. I want to tell you guys about my life, but you're not entitled to my blood. You're not entitled to like my piss. You're not taking my piss test. And I get that. Like I deeply get that. Like it's nobody's business. And I also feel like if you're prescribed a medication, whether you're in recovery or not, it is your decision to try that medication. For me, I was in recovery for 5 years, and I have severe ADHD, and I ended up being prescribed Adderall. And I remember I spoke to my sponsor. I spoke like my dad is a recovering alcoholic, so I talked to him a lot about it. And it's like, will it help you? So I tried it, and it wasn't for me. But I just don't think that we should be jumping down people's throats over medication, even if it's something that they're getting, not to mess them up, but at the same time to kind of because they like it. You know what I mean? Like, I actually do believe Jess has ADHD. Like, I don't know, man. She's very manipulative, so I could totally be wrong on that. But I don't know. It's a medication, and I just feel like at some point we got to kind of back up. And I do feel like a lot of this is her shooting herself in the foot because she puts all the info out there. Like, nobody has to guess about what's going on with her and Reese. It's all over the internet because of her. Nobody has to guess what's going on with Jason. It's all over the internet because of her and him. And it's coming from both ends. It's not just Nicole or Mindy or Britt or all these other creators. It is Jessica. Like, she seems to keep coming for the drama, and it doesn't make any sense. Yes, I agree with you, Melissa. Some of the things that I see her do, like I have ADHD, so I just pick up on like that stuff, like the things that I do. And I know that ADHD presents extremely differently in women than it does men. A lot of times, like for me, mine presents in a way where like I will get in a slump and I can't work. Like I can't, I don't know. It's like my brain will not create, if that makes sense. But then, say Friday rolls around, I'm in a good mood, I can do a week's worth of work in that afternoon. So, like, those things, like, I could kind of see a similarity. Yes. No, 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 no. I agree with you, Melissa. Like, I don't think that you can say someone has it, but I also think you can say someone doesn't have it. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of. And it's like, I get it. Like, Mindy and her, did the online thing and she got it through an online doctor. But at the same time, I don't feel like she would be getting a narcotic prescription unless they had some, tests that she is ADHD. Like, that's just kind of how I feel about it. And I don't feel that anybody should be shamed for the medication they take, especially by others who are on medication, like MAT, like medication treatment. You know what I mean? It's just kind of where I stand on it because I feel like everyone, I agree with Jessica in the, whatever recovery looks like to you. And granted, that doesn't mean go out and do a bunch of rugs, but it does mean, to me, it means, if you're California sober, if you take your meds, those things don't make you not sober. Does that make sense? Like for me, if you're not doing your drug of choice, say that's alcohol. If you're an alcoholic and you quit drinking alcohol, that's fine. But say you go to your doctor and they prescribe you pain pills. Are you supposed to say, no, I'm in pain and I really need these, but no? Or if you have, for me, I have terrible anxiety. Am I supposed to turn down, hi B, I'm so happy to see you. But yes, exactly, Melissa. Um, but for me, it's like, are you supposed to turn down help that can actually help you when you're having a really hard time because you're in recovery and you're worried what others might think? Like that is the biggest problem I think I have with the whole situation. Hi, Cena. But is the fact that there are people who are saying, don't take your, like, basically don't take your medication. Like, we don't believe you have ADHD. We believe that you're just using it because you're abusing it. And like, I don't get down with that. Like, if you need the medication, take the medication. Yeah, Melissa, that's exactly how I feel about that's my problem. Like, she's getting caught in so many lies, and it's like she won't fess up about any of them. Any of them. Like, not even the small stuff. Exactly. We aren't her doctor. We do not know what's going on in her life. And I feel like the medication shaming shouldn't be coming from a community where we have different pathways to recovery. I feel like it's just a little too far for me. But yeah, that is exactly how I feel. And the lies, it's just like they're getting immense at this point. Hi, honey. But they're getting so immense at this point. It's like, she lies about she's going on vacation. She's hopping from spot to spot before the kids go back to school while Jason's on the run. So is she with Jason? Nobody knows any of this stuff. And then Jason gets a wild hair, hops on the Reddit or hops on YouTube and makes 15 shorts, and it just makes her look so bad. And I'm wondering, like, at this point, I'm like, where is your PR team? Like, you make enough money that you really should have a PR person in general. Sorry, Melissa, I'm reading your comment. Well, I've noticed speculation if someone has legit ADHD. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like I was on Adderall and I was shamed for it. I was like, oh, people told me I wasn't sober. And it's like, that can be a life-saving medication. Granted, it didn't work for me, but like when I was 10 to 16 and I took it, it worked great. So it's like, you're no one's doctor and you can't tell what they're doing unless you're standing in their bathroom every day watching them take their medicine. Period. Like that's it, point blank. And I just don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, Jason's a terrible look and he isn't helping. Yeah, I know about the Roku deal. So yeah, so basically, I don't know if any of you have watched Christina Randall's Roku stuff. Has anybody caught that yet? Like, I know that she had a Roku deal and she has a show on there, but I can't remember the name of it. Yep, Melissa, a Roku deal. She's getting some show. I think basically what they do is they take their YouTube content, and I want to say Roku and Spotify must be tied together because Spotify took her YouTube content and turned it into a podcast. And from what I understood, because we actually spoke about me writing for her at one point, was that Roku was doing a show for her, but I wasn't sure what it would be. Like I can't remember. I wanted to say that she said it might be prison cooking or something like that, but it might have also just been, taking her old content and repackaging it and putting it on Roku. But at some point, I do feel like companies like Roku and Spotify are going to pull out because the views aren't there, the money isn't there anymore, and I do feel like a lot of these deals were inked in, like, December of last year, because I know that Christina Randall's stuff started way earlier this year, and I just feel like she probably inked all these deals for Spotify and Roku and all that stuff at the end of last year before the shit hit the fan, and now it's kinda like everything is crazy. She's had to buy a house, and it's a lot. Like, granted, I do agree with people who are like, most people who are being abused by their husband can't just go buy a house. I get that. I totally agree. 100% valid. But at the same time, like, it's hard. It's really hard to go through a divorce. Well, I know it's not a divorce, but it basically is. It's really hard to go through that, period. And money or not, like, granted, she didn't have to worry about where she was going to lay her head at night, but she still had things to worry about. And I just feel like no one gives any grace. And at first, I didn't give any grace. I thought I was completely against her because I felt like, why can't you just take a smidge of accountability, please? Because everybody would understand. Everybody would be like, you know what? I've slipped. Everybody can understand a relapse, or not even a relapse. Like, you did it once. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you got to say is, yeah, it was once. I didn't feel like it was a relapse. You know what I mean? No, Jason has not been caught yet, from my understanding. But I know that you can search I think it's Illinois. I think that's where he's going to get caught. I know you can search their federal system. I think actually federal looks for everywhere, and you can see if he's on there. Yeah, I agree. I agree about the ADHD topic. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like what's crazy to me and what's, like, wild is the fact that, she's lied about her life, like, so much. Like, at what point? And and also, I really wonder, does she believe the lie? You know what I mean? Like the birth story, like, I believe that that was awful. Cannot imagine it. I do not wish it on my worst enemy, and dissecting that part of her story is a little iffy to me because I feel like your birth story is your birth story. Oh, no, 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 you're good. I that was all I really wanted to say, was just that I thought it was bad that people were medication shaming her. But, yeah, I don't like that either, Marissa. The one thing I will say about that, though, and I don't like to bring that topic up, but I will say that as someone who's been in a very toxic, very highly manipulative, highly abusive, physically, emotional, all of it relationship, I couldn't get a video of anything. Like, I don't know about anybody else. If anybody in chat can answer this, if if you've ever been in a abusive relationship, were you able to pull out your phone? Because every time I would in my abusive relationship, my ex would break it. Like, literally, like, once he basically held me hostage, and I had an iPhone that wasn't connected, like, to like a phone company, and I could text my mom off of it through the Wi-Fi, and I could call 911. So I had it, like, underneath my thigh. He had already broken, like, my real cell phone, and I had it underneath my thigh, and I was trying to text my mom to say, "Call 911." He grabbed that sucker and broke it so fast, like, so to me, the recording was the only thing that I questioned, because it was like, "How did you get it?" Like, it just didn't make a lot of sense, but I don't question whether she was, because that video to me proved that at least there was verbal abuse, and I do believe I really believe there was a lot of mutual abuse, but some people say there is no such thing as mutual abuse, but that's not kinda how I feel. I feel like two abusive people can be in a relationship and it be abusive, and both of them interact on that. Yes, I totally get that, Marissa. Like I get it, and I'm not 100% comfortable. It's more like just sharing my personal story. And granted, that was like 2011. I'm dating myself here, but 2011. So things have changed. I yes, I agree, curls. I think that everything went off the rails when he relapsed. We can't 100% say Jessica has, but I think that when he relapsed and he was given the emails by Jason, and that's just something I want you guys to all like, let's just kind of imagine for a minute. You're hanging out at home or you're going to see your friend. Let's just go say you're going to see your friend, and your friend is friends with your husband, right? You get there and your friend hands you a stack of emails that date back to before you had your child with your partner. And they're like sexual and they're talking about, oh, he's not like you. You're so much better. Like, how'd you feel inside? You know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine the brokenness. And we don't know what he did to her. Like, that's the thing. Like, I do wish that she would really release some of the information on her side because I know there has to be something there that would make her look better in this situation, but she just won't produce it because I don't think she wants to admit to the emails being real, but she's already done that. Like, she keeps confirming things and then acting like she never confirmed them. Hang on, I'm a little behind, guys. Yeah, she did. She shared way too much about Reese's relapse. It made me very uncomfortable because that's his story, and I just don't feel right sharing other people's addiction story unless they're okay with it. Sorry, I'm scrolling up just a bit. Yeah, okay. Mhm. Yeah, I believe that there was mutual abuse and reactive abuse can happen on either side. There could be poking from either side. We have no idea. None of us were a fly on the wall. So the whole thing that it didn't happen, I don't like when people say that. And honestly, I really haven't seen too many people saying it didn't happen. But I really haven't seen too many people question the abuse part of her story. I have seen people say things like what I said, that I could not have had a phone when I was being abused. But everybody is different. Abuse is different for everybody. And I'm not going to diminish somebody's story because they're an internet public figure. And I do. I believe they were both toxic and I believe it was mutual. No, I don't either, Stina. I agree. Um, Thinking of her girls finding that video and because it's everywhere now, like, you can't take it back. Like, it's been recorded and re-uploaded, and your girls are gonna see it one day. You know what I mean? And it's just like, why? Yeah, the Reese videos, but honestly, Marissa, look at the view counts. Look at the view difference. Like, it is shocking. It is like 500K on a Reese video, but she does like a true crimey video, and it's like literally like 20K. Like, just check it out and you'll see the difference in numbers. And that's what sucked. Is I think that right now she needs, the YouTube paycheck and she's not getting paid like she used to um because of everything going on. And I've heard that she has a high tax bill. So if you go from making like a huge amount of money and then you owe, 5 figures in taxes, and then your income is cut to a point where you're barely, staying above water. I don't know. And it's like I've heard this is all secondhand information, so everybody can take it with a grain of salt. But I've heard that she didn't get anything from Facebook because Facebook stopped paying and she had enrolled with that Jelly Pop company. And this is what's crazy. The Jelly Pop company took all of her content and put it on Facebook. Well, I think this is still going on. They're posting like reels of her and Reese, like happy. And all the time, I'm seeing reels pop up on YouTube from her channel of her and Reese. And to me, that's so weird because when me and my ex broke up, I deleted all that shit. Now, granted, some of it I was like later when we got back together, I was like upset that I did it, but like still, like I can't imagine keeping it. And I know that, when you delete views, it messes with your YouTube. So that could be it. But I don't know. I would have deleted it. Yes, Tina. You're 100% right. When she was sharing his relapse, it literally felt like she was driving over him, putting it in reverse, backing back up, putting it in first, going on. And when she had Jason telling the story, it was almost like a subtle dig. You know what I mean? Like, look who's here and look who saved me. And it just gave me the ick. Yes, I do think that she thought posting about Reese would make her look more innocent, and I think that she's using that victim card like as hard as she can. Um, I think that she also thought that if she went ahead and put this out and was like, "Look how bad Reese is. Look at what he's doing. He's abusing me. He's a terrible person. He slept with Mindy." I feel like she thought that she would get the train people to kinda get off of the Mindy stuff and all the text messages and everything that came out about her and onto the fact that Reese was horrible, but I think everybody was just tired. Well, not tired, but I think they were like, "Nah, girl, you got a part in this too." And that's the thing. It's like, if she would just admit her part of it, I think everybody would I think everybody would forgive her for the most part. I feel like she could have a comeback. But that's the thing. I don't know if I don't know about it. You know what I mean? I don't know if she'll get a comeback because she's so stubborn. She will not do this. And I do. I seriously can't understand how she works with Jelly Pop and has a series coming out on Roku and has the Spotify thing and all these different things. I, million on YouTube. So she's got a YouTube manager, like somebody just at YouTube who just works for Jessica Kent and maybe a few others. But why has no one said, "Girl, you need to clean your image up"? Like, it's like no one has sat down and told her the truth. It's almost like she's surrounded by yes men and she just keeps believing everything they're telling her and thinking that this is nothing, and it really isn't. It is very twisted. Shoot. Yeah. I think that there are a lot of assumptions. What's going on? Crap. Oh, okay. Can you guys see me? Am I good? My screen went black. But yeah, I do. I think that a lot of creators are making a lot of serious assumptions about her, and I think that it's going really far. Like, I understand the need to get the legal documents. I understand the need to get proof that she did. She's saying she did 2.5 years, but she did a year and a day, which is crappy and it is a lie. And she should fess up to that stuff. But there's stuff in her paperwork that I just don't feel like should be released to the public. And I also, the whole CI thing and talking about her being a snitch, like, that's the kind of stuff to me that puts people in danger. I mean, because when she called Mindy a snitch, literally, that was the defense. And I love Mindy. I actually talked to Mindy and she's a decent person. But like, when that happened, Mindy, they were like, "No, no, no, no. You're saying she's a snitch. You're basically like saying, oh yeah, she snitched on all these people, and it's dangerous for her." So I don't understand why it's dangerous for Mindy, but not dangerous to do to Jessica. Now, I will say the stuff in her Discord that's leaked has been questionable at best, but it's kind of been overlooked, I think, because it isn't as bad as like the Colleen stuff. Sorry, guys, I'm a little behind on chat. I'm just catching up. Kept thinking if I see Oh, I know her fake sad face. Oh my, it's so ridiculous. Like it's so overblown. Marissa. Yeah, her thumbnail editor. Oh my god. Who is a thumbnail editor? I mean, I will say that Roddy Mom made my thumbnail and I credit her below, but like I ain't never known nobody that had a thumbnail editor. I've known people that have editors. But also, she says she has a video editor, yet will show herself and say, I've been working on this video for 9 hours. So did you fire your video editor or did you never have a video editor to begin with? You know what I mean? Like it's so back and forth with all this stuff. Yeah, she had a minor on her Discord. I don't know everything about it, but there was a whistleblower who came out about her Discord and was talking about how there was a minor, different things. Like I'll have to repost the video to my community tab. I'll do that after this live. Exactly. You've been in jail for a year, Melissa. Like exactly. You've been in jail for a year. How many prison stories do you have? How many prison burritos do you really know how to make? And I have a theory. I actually like JD Delay. I think he's a good person. I think that he's loud and that part I don't like, but I think that he's good in the way that he does go out in the community and he does give out Narcan and tries to help people that way. And I think he's a good person. But I do think his stories are exaggerated too. He hasn't done that much time. I don't believe from what I can see. I think he's done about like 3 years, but he got house arrest when he got arrested in Florida for counterfeiting. So it's like I do feel like there's a kindred spirit there with them where it's like they both kind of I see you, you see me kind of thing. And I feel like that's why he bulldogs for her. But I did see that Larry Lawton made a video and he was like, "Oh, Jessica Kent's my girl." And I can't believe anybody would think that I would turn on her. And I was just like, man, like you're the real deal. And she's getting exposed for lying about prison paperwork and shit. And like, y'all talk about beating people up for that. So, like, why is it okay that she did that and she's part of your community when it wasn't okay when people did that in jail? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah, Marissa, does he follow Jay Williams? He's my favorite. Like, I love him. Out of everybody, I feel like his stories are very real. I like Larry Lawton too. He's very good. But Jay is just I really like him. Like he has a different I love the way he weaves his stories. Like the one thing that I can say about him is like his storytelling is and with Jess, even if the stories are fake, her storytelling skills aren't great. Like I followed her because I don't even know why I followed her at this point. Maybe because I saw her with Christina Randall. But like the storytelling, I like story times, but like the storytelling with it just her stories don't really flow. And like she talks about beating up chomos and stuff like that. And it's like, girl, you were pregnant most of your prison stay. Like, how are you beating up chomos at 8 months pregnant? Her short oh, sorry guys, I have a bad tooth and I just totally hit it out at her. But I like her shorts too. They can be funny, but one thing I want to point out, if you're in a toxic, mentally, let's just say mentally and emotionally abusive relationship and you are unaware, um, how in the world could you make fun of Amber Heard when she was going through that stuff with Johnny Depp? It makes no sense to me how you could just make fun of someone who could have been abused in the same way that you're saying that you were abused. And she's apologized for that now, but she made a ton, dude, like a ton. Yeah, if you'll give me a second, I gotta go get something for my tooth, but give me like 5 minutes, I'll be right back. I wish I could play music or something, but I'm sorry. Sorry, Buster. Hey, buddy. Hey, boy. Eh, I'm so sorry about that, guys. I have like an unseated tooth back here, and oh my god, like when it hits, like that's why I have such a bad lisp right now. I'm trying to like not close my mouth completely because when the backs hit, oh my god, it's so bad. Oh, you're 100% right, Cena. Like she completely glamorizes that lifestyle, and I didn't realize it until all this came out. But like she really does. She glamorizes criminality and being a thug. I mean, when we were talking about doing cases, her first idea was like a queen pin, like doing a queen pin series. Talking, did I mess it up? Is can you hear me? I've got it like right in front of me. Shoot. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I dropped it by accident. My bad. I can't find my stand, so I have to find something to put my mic in. But when we originally started talking about writing together, I was gonna write like queen pen stories for her, like women who. I'm gonna have to try that. Oh, God, it hurts. You can kind of even see it. Like my jaw is like all puffed out right there. Um, oh, sucks so bad. But I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the queen pin stuff. She wanted to do queen pin stories, and I remember thinking like, really, like because it's just not a huge draw. Like, and I did see some stories that she could have done, like Heidi Place, and there was someone in the Gambino crime family, I believe, who was a woman who was really high up. And there are queen pins, but at the time, I definitely did not think it was the right thing for her. If that makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Send me a picture of it, Marissa, because I will definitely use it because I have so much going on down here. Because up here I'm good, but down here it's a mess. It's crazy. The only thing I'm addicted to now are goodies. And they're so bad for me. Like I'm trying to cut back so hard, but they actually help because I can kind of like put it on wherever I hurt and gives me like 5 minutes pain free. Yeah, she does. She thinks it's cool to be bad. And like I also see these people that she has infiltrated with who have done real time. Larry Lawton, he did 12 years. Um, Sorry. She had a girl on her channel who had, it was smart what this girl did. I'm sorry. But it was really smart what this girl had done. She had like a big CZ engagement ring, and she went into this really, really nice jewelry store, and she had gotten, like, switched it out, basically. And she ended up getting caught and doing some time, but like these people did like actual time in like federal prison or like actual prison, and it's like, girl, you did a year and a day. Like I don't know. It just seems really silly. It seems like such a silly lie. And not only that, but did you guys watch that what channel is that? It was like a lineup of like five people and they had all been to prison and like Jessica ended up in the middle or something or like 4 out of 5 and she'd had like the most time. It was so weird and it's like do they not fact check these things? Like, do they not fact check whether you've had that much time? I mean, she's on Montel Williams, and he's basically like, "So you did 2.5 years, like twice?" And she's like, "No, no, no, I did it once." And blah, blah, blah. But it's because her timeline doesn't make sense. Yes, and they say that when you do drugs, you're stunted at the age that you start doing drugs. And I want to say that Jessica said she started doing drugs at like 13 or 14. And I know she had 10, or she says she had 10 years sober. And I do believe she's done some work on herself. But do any of you guys watch Peter Mon? When he speaks about recovery, he speaks what we call like the language of recovery. And you can tell that he's very into it and that's what he is about. Like he's all about it and very proud to be sober, very proud to help anybody who wants to get sober. And I don't hear the same vocabulary from Jess. I don't feel like she has the same. I just don't think she speaks the language of recovery. And I get she's at a point where she doesn't even care if she's in the recovery community. And I get that, dude. Like, I wouldn't want to be not mocked or anything like that, but I wouldn't want to be in a community that didn't want me either. I get it. Exactly, exactly. And like she talks in so much detail. Her arrest story, she did it in detail, and that's what's fucking her up because like everybody's like, nope, you were arrested at 4 o'clock in the morning, not three. And it's like, granted, it's tiny tweaks. And like to me, that's the petty part, is a lot of it is tiny tweaks. Like 3 instead of 4 a.m., whatever. But the whole she told the cop she was pregnant when he pulled her over. And supposedly, even though the prison said that when they intake, they did pregnancy tests, the jails, or I'm sorry, I think it was the jail that said when they intook in 2011, they did pregnancy tests. So she should have found out when she was going through intake in county jail. So it really, really, really makes you question whether she, sorry, I have something on my computer screen. But anyway, it really makes you question whether she actually knew if she was pregnant and she was just kind of riding it out, or if she didn't know and she was being serious. Because I could totally, my ex, like when I was in my addiction and I was with my ex, we've gotten pulled over 100 times and bad things have happened. I never went to jail, thankfully. I never got any kind of bad thing that happened to me, but he did lots. And I don't know. I don't understand why she took all the charges because that didn't make any sense to me. And unless she knew she was pregnant and she thought they would give her leniency because of it, and she didn't think they'd give that to her baby daddy. Yeah, I know, right? Like Shanita, I agree. Like that is one thing I agree about. Like there was one I actually felt bad for her, and it was like she was talking about a correction officer named Stamps, and she was saying like that he had degraded her and this, that, and the other, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is silly" or whatever. And I was like, actually, that's kind of sad because it probably did happen. Like my dad worked in a prison for like 15 years as a CO, and he was there to help people. That was my dad's thing. But most of the COs aren't there to help people. Like they're just the flunkies who failed the police academy. I hate to say it, but that's kind of what they are. Exactly. She has not moved on. She is stuck in that time period. And That is the biggest thing that makes me question her sobriety, is because she doesn't seem to have matured. She doesn't seem to have grown. And it's like, I feel like she's my age. Like, I'm sorry, her birthday's in 91. So that's what? She's like 32, 33. Like, at this point, you have two babies. Like, you need to be a little bit further along. And, like, I don't think she's a bad mother. And that's one thing that I will say, the whole CPS thing, and I do believe that it was, Roos's dad and his family, etc. But like, I still don't think that those kids are in the worst place that they could be. Now, if the things were true about, people doing drugs at their house, then that is a bad situation and that is a bad place. But at the same time, with CPS checking her out, I just don't think she's doing that shit anymore. Oh my god, Marissa, yes. Actually, she's the cheerleader who married that guy who tells the story for him. But I just, with Jason, it's like I don't understand why she would tank her career for a dude. It doesn't make any sense to me, because this whole Reese thing, I feel like it would have went a lot smoother had Jason not been up her butt 24/7. Like if he hadn't been around every day helping her move and doing X, Y, and Z, like I really think that people would have let up, and I think they would have been like, "Oh, well, what did Reese do to you? How bad was it?" And she could have completely slid out of this. But she's doing so many shady things. And not only that, but she's called out other people. Like she called out Digital Princess last year. And I'm not saying she shouldn't have. What did, like, if you've seen the body cam, that girl like let her kid, basically she went out to get jiggy and left her kid at home, who was like 4 or 3, and he was in a diaper, and he got out of the house and he was just wandering around. It's like 11 p.m. at night. A neighbor found him, called the police. It's insane. And like she comes home and she's like, "Oh yeah, I went out for laundry detergent." It's like, you left your baby at home to go get laundry detergent? No, no, ma'am. And she finally like admits what she did on the way, but like she lied about it back then. But Jess was like, "Take a microdust of accountability, a microdust," and it's like, girl, you can't take microdust of accountability. Like, come on. Exactly. Exactly, Stina. I believe that he knows everything. Everything. I think Reese does too. I think Reese knows a fair bit, but I don't know, man. Jessica is so trigger happy with those NDAs because I know she had Mindy sign one. I can't imagine that Reese and um Jason haven't had to sign one. You know what I mean? Because yeah, I do. I feel like Jason and Reese are the key with those. But I definitely just think that I know that she's trying to show people, like through TikToks and shorts and whatnot, that she's hanging out with the kids and she's just having a good time and she's having a great summer and she's doing this, that, and the other. But I do think a video where she just sat down and was like, "Listen, I've heard everything Nicole has to say. I've heard everything Mindy has to say. I've been listening to these creators. This is what I have done. This is my life story. And just tell your story, girl. If it's an hour and a half, it's an hour and a half. Nobody cares. Just tell what truly happened to you, like what really happened, what it was like being pregnant in prison. Hardly anybody experiences that. Like that is such a crazy inspiring story. Tell about how you got Micah back. Like that's incredible. Like I was always so like blown away by her because I was like, you got your kid back from CPS after they had them, like, and that's almost unheard of. And I don't know. I really respected her for that, and I feel like if she just told the truth and told the truth of her story and everything that was going on, I just think it would help her. I really do. I think she could move forward if she would just do that. Me Too B, but she was hanging out with that Chris guy, and he was a convicted child abuser. Sorry. And I feel for those girls because I was never a kid of a divorce, but I have seen my sister go through a divorce, and I've seen her bring strange men around my niece over and over. You know what I mean? And it's like it's just not good for the kids. Yeah, I totally get that, Marissa. And like, you know what? To be honest with you, I don't think it was luck. I mean, her connection, the way that she goes through and can make connections with people in the community is better than anyone that I have ever seen. Like, she is the best networker. Exactly. Exactly. Most people struggle, and it's like you get to do your dream job, Jess. You know what I mean? Like that's a dream. Like I'm gonna sit here and tell you, like writing, that's a dream. Like that's the job. Like, and I get paid for it. Like I feel so lucky. But like she's squandering it, and it's like I do. I don't know that it was all luck. I do think that she's a very good networker, and I think that she knew from the very beginning. I feel like she had probably watched people like Larry Lawton and, the bigger prison YouTubers who were already established at that time. And I feel like she did things like I do and reached out to them and started networking because I can say that that's helped my career, just networking with people. But I don't know. I don't feel like it was just luck. Yes. Her mom fighting cancer, yeah. Like she hasn't made an update with her mom, and I don't know if that's because she hasn't seen her or because she hasn't seen her. I feel like she would have made an update if she had. She keeps saying, "Well, when all this calms down, I'll update the ride or die crew about my mom." And it's like, girl, like focus on your mom. Don't worry about the ride or die crew. Like it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Yeah, it's messed up priorities for sure. And like, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but if you go back and watch the interview she did with her dad and her stepmom, and no. Mm-mm-mm. And it sucks because you can become so success. I'm sorry, I'm answering B. She said, "I love the way that YouTube allows people to make money, but I fear that these big creators aren't preparing for the what ifs." Yes. If you don't know how to manage your money and you're just, then it's going to be real hard. Like, just through the grapevine. I heard she owed like upper five figures in taxes, and it's like I couldn't do that. I couldn't pay that, and it's like, and with her views dropping the way they have, it's like you have the same job, you're doing the same work, but you're getting paid like significantly less. So I feel like if you're not good at financial planning, then you're screwed. And another thing that I've heard was that Reese was the budgeter, and Reese was the guy that knew how to handle money and whatnot, and she didn't. So I don't know. Buying a house was a good move. I hope that everything works out as far as that because I never wish somebody to go broke. Like that's not what I wish on anybody. But I'm with you. Like I don't I think that a lot of times people grow up in situations where they aren't wealthy or they're poor or whatever when they're younger and they get on YouTube and they make a ton of money. Like for instance, Tana Mojo. And they go and they waste a lot of it on Chanel, on just keeping up with appearances. Tomorrow YouTube could be like, "Yo, I'm shutting down, peace," and it could happen. But it's still something that you should always think of. And if you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, put some in the bank. Oh no, I totally get you, Marissa. Like I hate that motivational bullshit. Like It's just like you got lucky. Maybe you work hard. Maybe that's true, but you got lucky with this. Like this is a good gig, and you got lucky. Yeah, from what I can tell, she doesn't listen to her mom when she comes to her. The only videos I've ever seen in New York were the one video where she interviews her dad and her stepmom. And I want to say she did one with her mom there, but if you watch them, like her stepdad and mom, they look at her like when she's telling the stories, like, I don't like, and her stepmom straight up goes, I don't remember that. And they talk about her lying and how she used to lie all the time. So it does make me question it, man. Like, it really makes me wonder, like, you still lying? You still manipulate? Like, and there are clips out there of her saying shit like, I can manipulate if I want, but I'm not like that anymore. And it's just like, why are they saying that? You know what I mean? I do too, Stina. That would be like the smartest thing. No, I agree, B. If she's got a large mortgage, it's gonna be real, real hard. And this is a really nice house. Like, it's beautiful. Right? I would love for people to watch me mop my floor and just like it. Like, that would be great. So, does anybody have any other creators that they're thinking are a little bit shady? Just out of curiosity. I like to catch up on the hot goss too. But I've had this on my mind. I really drawn out video on it and like put things in it, but it just got to a point where I felt like people are piling on, and I am finally at a place where I'm like, I don't disagree with Nicole. I actually like Nicole, and I'm behind her on that. But I just don't want to add to it. Marissa. Well, we, there's so many things I could say right now. I need to shut my mouth. Yeah, does anybody know anything about BJ, that surprise witness? Just out of curiosity. Give me 5 seconds. I'm gonna fill up my drink and then I'll be right back. By the way, I want to show you guys these pages. They're freaking awesome. They're like they do this. They open up and like they show your whole leg. It's so cute. Oh, guys. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Melissa was telling me. Oh yeah, I could totally see that. She's a friggin' mean girl, Sadina. Like, she's a friggin' mean girl. Just so you know, BJ, this is all my hair. Doesn't come off. It's not a wig. Bitch. Fucking hate that bitch. Sorry guys. I could just go off. I'm gonna do a video on her, but she pisses me off so bad that I don't know if I can do it live. Like, literally that girl. Hmm. Yeah, there's so much to say, dude. I don't know if I should. Screw it. She bullied me behind the scenes. Like, she's a bitch. Like, and she can flip this, do whatever you want. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, I just don't. Um, I never intended to expose you, BJ. Ever. Ever. I was going to talk to people who actually worked with you. And had you listened to the people that actually worked with you, you would have realized a year ago that Amanda's potassium levels were the same as someone who had died by lethal injection. And instead, now you're like checking your email and thanking subscribers who are sending you stupid. Like, she did not give her law license to say Britney. Like, all they said was stop making Britney videos. It's real freaking simple. And if somebody's paying me 200 grand a year, I'm gonna do about whatever they say. And like, that was so entitled. I quit my $200,000 a year job. Do you know how many people can make that decision? Do you know how many people can quit their $35,000 a year job? Not many. Not many. Because they depend on it. And you're just like, well, I quit. Forget it. Like, that's not all right. It was elitist and it was very like, I know that she meant it to be like, I'm standing up for what's right. But to me, it came off as elitist. It's like, do you realize that most people cannot do that? Most people cannot afford that. And like, I see so much in there where it's like, that is the case. No, I don't know that either. I mean, why would Lou Taylor care so much about a creator who at that time was not that big, who was making Britney videos, care so much that she would go and get a lawyer in Pennsylvania when I believe her company is in Tennessee. And she does most of her business in LA. So why would you need a lawyer from Pennsylvania? And why would you care that much? I mean, I get why Lima sued her. If you watch the videos before that, she's like this close to the camera yelling, "Sue me, bitch." And it's like, okay, fine. And then she asked to GoFundMe for the lawsuit. Why were you begging somebody to sue you if you couldn't afford to be sued? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Oh, yeah, she was like, oh, I think she said she only worked there for about a month. You're right, Melissa. Like, I got my mic again. I'm sorry. I gotta find that stand. I agree, Stina. And I can back that, yes. You could be right, Melissa. They could have just felt like her takes were just bad. You know what I mean? They could have said, "Look, your social media isn't a good look for a lawyer. Like, we are a very prestigious law." Everything that she said was true. This is a prestigious law firm. They are, you know, she said one of the best in the country. So most of them probably wouldn't want somebody on YouTube running their mouth and getting all, angsty and yelling at the camera. Like, it isn't a good look. It just isn't. And I could see it being that, like, just being like, hey, your social media presence is a distraction. You know, can you chill it out? Can you give general information? I mean, Ricada Law, it's like they can do it because they own their own firm. Uh, what's that guy? His first name is Bruce. I can't. Bruce Rivers. He can do his because he owns his law firm. When you get higher up, you can do those things. But the fact that you just went to college for all that time, supposedly, and got the job and did the damn thing, and then threw your law license away within a year? Fucking really? Like, really? By the way, everybody say hi. I'm sure this video will get back to her. Ooh, did you find that, Melissa? Because I would love to see it. Yeah, I haven't seen the complaint. If you don't care, send that to me. I'd love to see it. Crazy conspiracy theorists. That's great. Oh my god, she has a $5,000 cat? What? What? Oh, Melissa? Me and you were gonna have to talk, girl. Not like we don't. It's not like we're not texting all day. The $5,000 cat has me hung up. I ain't even gonna lie. I would love the info you have on that, Melissa. Like, I would love it if you'd share that with me. But like, I didn't work for her. Let's make that real clear. I did not work for her. We had talked about it, but I never went through with it. She was never unkind to me to my face. To my face, she was always Sphinx cat. Oh yeah, they are expensive. But she was always kind to my face. But when I was starting to work with her, I had contacted people that I knew that were already on her team. And I was just like, hey, I'm excited, I might do this, blah, blah, blah. And like they were blown away. And one of them got extremely upset. And at the time, I was under the impression she was upset because she was being mistreated. She was being not paid. Um, and she wasn't being treated well, period. And she had been with her for quite a while. And during that time, and I don't know all of the specifics, a lot of people will say, I work with this person, but they don't. What they do is like they'll send them, research through ID every once in a while, and every once in a while the person will check it. You know what I mean? It's not really working with them. But these people worked with her because like they would make Google Docs and stuff like that. Like, and they really worked on the Amanda Rab and Bam situation. And that is how I got involved. I worked with Dustin on his BAM videos, and then I got involved in that because they were supposed to share their BAM information with me. Well, I get in touch with them, and they beat around the bush. Like the main girl beat around the bush. She wouldn't give me the information. She never really unlocked the files for me. So the video that Dustin and I ended up doing, I did all the research on and found all the stuff my own, like on my own, because I didn't get anything from them. They didn't open any of the legal docs for me, nothing. And they were supposed to. So I don't know if that was BJ. I don't know if that was the girl. I have no idea. But when you have people working for you who are working for free and they're working for your attention, because that's the biggest thing is if you're working for free, typically you're working for attention. Let's just be realistic. Like you want to be recognized by your favorite creator. And there was a lot of that, like a lot of jealousy, like a lot of looking for information and trying to get it to her first. And then it just got weird because it was like she was talking to them almost like as a reward for what they were doing. And then she stopped talking to them and she'd start back. And it was weird. It was an emotional roller coaster. Well, one of the girls decided that she wanted to talk about it and then she was done. And man, she said some stuff. Like she was uh, talking to the Margeras and telling them everything she knew, which I thought was wrong. I never thought that was right. But it was crazy. And I was going to give her a platform. At the time, I was working, it was when I was streaming with Coley, and Coley had a bunch of choice words to say about her. I didn't really say that much, but Coley sure did. And she got mad at me for it. And then the girl ended up backing out because her and BJ had like a 3-hour conversation. Well, then I drop it. I texted the girl and was like, I love you. I really care about you. And I just wanted to help you. And if you need your story shared, totally cool. I'll help you anytime. You can always use my platform. That's what I told her. And then she backed away. And then 3 months later, I started getting leaked text messages of BJ making fun of my teeth and saying that I wear wigs and just all this mean girl bullshit. Like, it was crazy. And yeah, it was weird. It was very, very weird. For somebody who presents so nice and so cute online, just, oh, I'm such a good person. They're not. Like, the mean girl is strong. who works with Jake Yonsei and Shelby from Deep Dive, and they've been around for a while and they have history. So if any of y'all know them, you might know kind of what they're known for. Ooh, I didn't put that together, Melissa. Damn. The suit from Lima. There was someone mentioned in that suit, like someone that was on the team and someone who's my good friend, and she didn't even tell them. Melissa, you gotta send me that. But I just think that I don't know. I don't think that all of YouTube is luck because I see so many people who I don't think are that different or that interesting, and they just. And I wonder if it's because instead of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna start a channel. I'm gonna do everything on my own. I'm gonna write my own scripting. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that," like you would in say 2016, 2018. I wonder if it's more of a thing now where it's like, let me get a team together and I'm going to do this and I'm going to get somebody who'll edit and I'll get somebody who'll do my thumbnails. And you try to find all these people who do this free work under the guise of like, when I start making money, I'll bring you on. And granted, I don't think she ever said that to anybody. I'll be straight up. I don't think she ever promised anybody any pay other than me. And that was separate. And I never did the job. But still, man, like you could shout people out. Like she never did that. Like she never shouted anyone out. And the friends that I have did so much, and it's sad. And it's honestly super sad that the one girl ended up she wanted to expose BJ. That was the whole thing. The one girl, the main girl wanted to expose BJ, and she wanted to get her basically gone off YouTube. And that's why she wanted to come on and talk about everything. She was real angry. And I didn't care to expose BJ. What I felt about it was like, this is wrong. You should pay your people. And the girl wanted to come on to do that, and she was texting me crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy. Like really, really vindictive, could get you in a lot of trouble stuff. And whether you dislike somebody or not, I don't want you to get in trouble or lose your YouTube channel. Like it's not worth that, you know? And when she pulled out, I had no problem with it because I was like, dude, I don't have a problem with BJ. I wanted to give you a voice. That was it. So after that, I was done. I wasn't worried about it. I wasn't trying to figure out anything. Like I was done. And that girl went and turned everything around on me and my other friend who was mentioned in the lawsuit and wasn't told by BJ. It was had to be told by someone outside of the lawsuit that she was named in it. But anyway, that girl went back, turned everything around on us, and then like 2 months later, leaked screenshots started coming out that BJ is making fun of me in DMs to that chick. And it's like, man, what a fucking winner. Man, wow, I didn't even believe I can't believe I've been on here an hour and 15 minutes. But I think I am gonna hop off, guys. Is there anything anybody else has a question about? I'm gonna do a more in-depth stream on what we just talked about at some point, but gotta get my mindset there where I'm not so angry. But yeah. Oh, by the way, did anybody see on my Instagram that I made an intro? I'm so proud of it. Alrighty, guys. I think I am gonna hop off. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know it's late, so I really appreciate everybody coming. But yeah, I think tomorrow, as long as my jaw isn't killing me, um, I will probably be on here to do a story. I actually talked to Curls about it, and I am going to be doing the story of Kenneth Blue and his girlfriend Jennifer. And he was a cop and he basically staged her suicide. So it's really interesting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the script and then after we're going to talk about it. And that's going to be that. So I hope everybody has a good night. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night. I'm going to try and do it around 9 or 10. That's usually the best time for me. But yeah, you guys have a good night. Thank you.